What's up, traders? I am Vincent Mokoteli from Vinboss Signal Factory. This is not a financial advice. It's powerful education for those ready to level up. With the right mindset and real strategy, success is within your reach. Welcome to Vinboss Signal Factory, where signals meet success. What's up, traders? It's me again, Vincent Mokoteli from Vinboss Signal Factory. So yesterday we did have a sort of this. We did expect to see the market coming down to retest our first demand zone or our second demand zone. Rather, what we did have was a fantastic move to the upside, and after this we said that if we see anything that looks like it's going to invalidate this to make a new high, to confirm this SA higher low, then we will continue to the upside without hesitation because of, guys, remember last week on Friday we had the NFP. So last week on Friday, this was probably the best signals that we had from last week. So the continuation for us, this was not really a big movement. I think we need more to be clear. Just like the signal that we had to get in from this level to continue to the upside. Now, where is the target and how do we deal with this, right? Now, this is our target right here. It is 1:3.16 risk to reward ratio, of course. And with that being said, the take profit is at 1.1801. This is how I trade with the real account traders community. I will show you the pictures of my account right now so that you can understand what I am talking about when it comes to taking these signals, or how they would look like if you have joined our trading group. You have to be on the verge of trading all the time when you're with us, because we do a video early in the morning, we do a video later on with the New York session, of course, and it gives us that advantage to understand what has happened from early in the morning to later on in the evening or at night. So right now, let me see the dollar. So just like we said, this is the euro and the dollar, and what do I expect to see from what I expected to see? This was the entry from, just as I explained, after this entry came back down and then a continuation. This is a screenshot to show you that whatever we said we are trading, we will still be trading even right now as we are currently speaking. So that is it from us, traders. This is the best setup for us. Let's go over to the euro and the dollar. And so traders, this is me today with the pound and the US dollar. And very similar to what happened yesterday, the market did not go to retest the demand zone. Rather, we started making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. And when we came to this, we know that after this is what I talk about when I say bullish patterns and formations. Now, when you see this happening in the market, you already know after this new high test, and then after this test, and then a continuation to the upside. It's normal. It's common sense to us. Maybe this is backed up by the fundamentals, the rate expectations of the US dollar, backed up by the weak NFP, but you have to know these things. So after this pullback here, we waited for bullish engulfing patterns, and after that we did get them, and then we continued to go higher. We are targeting the area above here. With that being said, traders, this is 3.51 1:3.50 risk to reward ratio trade. Now, what do I expect from now? I do expect to see this come down, retest here, and then a continuation to the upside, retest again, and then take my profit. This is what I do expect. This is what we got into with the real account traders community yesterday. And with that being said, traders, I also have to show you the screenshot of the taken signal. And this is it. This is the signal that was taken, of course, and this is how the market has played, just like we did tell you after the retest, and then boom, boom. The take profit is still right there, 1.3603. This is the exact take profit from here. This is where trading signals are met with precision. Everything that you see happening on the market is happening exactly as we say it will. And remember, I did mention that it is September, October, and November are probably the best time for you to fund your account, the minimum of $100 to make sure that you have money in your trading account. Now, back to the charts. What do I expect to see? Remember again, I do expect to see a retest of this broken resistance, which potentially could turn support, and then a bullish momentum going to take out this, and then afterwards, this we will be done with a pound and the dollar, the euro and the dollar. For now, we go back to the third currency pair, which is the euro and the Canadian dollar on the free YouTube watch list. You remember, the free YouTube watch list only includes the 6 currency pair being euro dollar, pound dollar, EURCAD, pound CAD, euro and pound, and US dollar, Canadian dollar. Those pairs are closely correlated. I picked them so that people can see the correlation between between currencies and understand how to play with the market fundamentals and structure and the correlation itself. So let's go straight to the euro. So my beautiful traders, what we have with the euro and the Canadian dollar is, from Friday, we did expect a small pullback to retest our demand zone at 1.6179, which was a fantastic place to look for buying opportunities. As you can see, we did have this break of structure around here, bullish engulfing with a pattern, of course, or a bullish pattern of morning star, or is it an evening star? It depends on what you have read on the books. It's been a long time since I've read candlestick patterns. I do not dwell much on them because I follow mostly the price. That's why I'm able to give you all these levels for you to look at while you are still trading. So without wasting much of our time, let's jump into the markets. Now, traders, we did have yesterday rather a fantastic place to buy. After reaching our demand zone, we did have this bullish momentum, the second candle that invalidated the structure and confirmed that the pattern is full enough or strong enough for us to go and buy. So with that being said, came back up, down, made a new high, and we come back down. Now, what do I think? I think we are going to retest this level above here, and then after the retest, the market is just gonna create another chance, maybe similar to this one, for buying opportunities. Of course, look for bullish patterns and formations, just like we said here. And of course, the real traders community is already in break even for this setup. So without wasting further time, this is what I do believe. I do believe that we are going to somehow find buying opportunities from this to continue to the upside to make us. How much is this? Let's firstly be sure of how much this is. This is 1:4.09, and then after this, the continuation to the upside is imminent, and we will take our profit. Rather, I'm always open-minded with this. If we do have the second retest of this still will make us a perfect trade to the upside, and it will be either, you see the pattern right now, inverse double bottom, which will be in play if we do get to retest for the second time. Either way, we are still structured to the upside with the euro and the Canadian dollar, and with the euro and the majority of the pairs coming into this week, as I did mention on our weekly forex forecast that we did post on Monday. And I did ask apologies that I did not post that on Sunday, so that you can have much time to write down with your books and check the levels, so that you can just get in the market and do what you do best with this free YouTube watch list. So without wasting much of our time, this is what I do expect, but this would be a bigger corrective structure that might cause an inverse head and shoulder. This one would be a bigger one. There is a small one within this one. Let me show you what do I mean. After this, we did make this new high, come back down, new high. We are now down. So from the levels, of course, that I just mentioned, if we do get this, this would be a small double bottom that is inverse to the upside, and it will be a fantastic setup, of course. So without wasting much of our time, this is fantastic. This is the best setup of the week, and we should just take it as it is. So, excuse me, let me show you the screenshot of the trade that we did just take with the euro and the Canadian dollar, of course. This is the euro and the Canadian dollar. We did have a fantastic setup. Of course, this is the signal that we did take, and this is the screenshot. Now, with the screenshot, I'm trying to show you that every single trade that we're analyzing here on YouTube watch list, we do take personally, and this is my account, of course. I do take them personally from my account to make sure that I will not give you signals that I do not personally follow to the pip, or to risk the same amount of pips that I tell. Even those who are in the real account traders community, they do know that we do take the same trade. When I win, they win. When I lose, they lose. And sometimes I want to change the mindset of traders. Let's go back to the chart. I want to change the mindset of traders. Some traders do have the mindset that in 6 trades you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then lose 1. It's possible. You can have that. But you can also have 1, 2, and lose the rest 4, but you still be in profit when it comes to this sort of analysis. Do you understand? Just winning 2 overshadows you losing all the last 4 trades, or the next 4 trades, or you can lose the first 4 trades and then win only once or twice, and then you make enough money to cover the losses and still have profit on that currency pair. Do you understand the kind of strategy and risk management? This has to do with risk management mostly. It's not about the strategy. It has to be about how much you risk or what percentages you find working better for you. So without wasting further time, the mindset of a newbie trader is having this kind of setups week in and week out. That's why I'm here, and I'm the only trader that will trade live without hiding any losses, without hiding anything. I'm just out there showing you real traders, the psychology of all the traders. I mean, right now, even on this, if somebody will be watching this, right now, even on this, somebody will ask me, why don't you just close this before it gets down and take you out? It's normal. I'm not. Do you guys understand? I'm trying to teach people with the mindset that do not be out there worrying about, this is an investment after all, right? Do not be out there worried about if this is going to win or not, because you know once you win once, you make 5 times what you could have lost. Do you understand? So patience is the key. I did mention about the structure of the double bottom, of course, and the small one and the bigger one if there is a deeper correction to this, to retest the second time on the demand zone at 1.6179. This would be a fantastic setup, but if we do have to come and retest only right at this level, to retest this and continue to the upside to take our profit, this would also be a fantastic setup going into this coming days or going into Wednesday. And remember, guys, we do have fundamentals that do move the market going into this week, which is the PPI, of course, and it comes on tomorrow on Wednesday. And on Wednesday, we will still be in the market, milking the markets. But rather, if we are already out, we will only be trading those that we are not yet, or that we have not yet reached our profit target at. But if we have already reached our target profit, we don't play in the market. We made money. That's enough. You're just going to chill, wait for next week. Because every week, there are opportunities in the market. You don't want to be that guy who gets into the market, who wins this big leg just because you are greedy. You did take profit from here and this. Now you are greedy that you could have made all of this. You try to look for a pullback and then you get in, and after that, boom, you try to get in again. After that, boom, and then you try to get in and then boom, you realize that now the profit you have is just maybe 2 times above what you had. If you do make profit, make sure that you keep profits, because this game is a game of keeping profit, or this business is a business of keeping profit. If you cannot keep profits, this becomes a problem. So traders, let's go straight over to the pound and the Canadian dollar without wasting much time. And with the pound and the Canadian dollar, what do we have? It's similar to the euro and the Canadian dollar, of course, but on this, we did not come down and retest the first demand zone, which will more or less tell you the strength. Before we even get to, this is what I want you to do always when I'm out here giving you this free YouTube watch list analysis. I want you to realize that the pairs that I start with is the euro and the dollar. Secondly is the pound and the dollar. Now that similarly should give you the strength of both the pound and the euro relative to the dollar itself. And the second pair, the second group of pairs that I do give you is the euro and the Canadian dollar, the pound and the Canadian dollar. That should also give you the individual currency strength, which is the pound and the euro, as opposed to the Canadian dollar, and it gives you the strength of the Canadian dollar itself. Now, we did mention previously on the weekly forex forecast that was dropped yesterday right here on YouTube, that the Canadian dollar and the US dollar, I'm not interested in buying them, which makes the pair itself more tricky this week rather than other pairs. So there are other pairs that you can trade with us, like the US dollar and the Japanese yen, but you cannot get those signals here on the free YouTube watch list because of it will be unfair to our traders, of course. And with that being said, it does not look nice if those traders have over $100 in their account and everybody is winning, and then you get all the signals here on YouTube for free. I don't think it is fair. I think serious people should be treated differently. Some people are out here testing us with a demo account, which is not bad, of course. With the free YouTube watch list, you can test us, but when you're ready, make sure you knock on our WhatsApp and tell us that you are ready. We will help you register. After the registration, fund your account. After funding your account, you automatically add it to the Telegram group, to the WhatsApp group, so that you can make the money that you deserve. So without wasting much of our time, let's jump into the analysis. What I said is we did not come to retest the first demand zone. As a matter of fact, what did we do? We came up and then we had this bottom down because of this liquidity sweeps right here, and then break of structure right here. Of course, let me clean this so that I can make sure that some traders do realize this is what I am talking about, traders. The market has been coming down like this, and then there's a break of structure, a retest, another new high, a retest, and again, these moving averages that are put here, they are put here because they serve a certain purpose. They can either act as resistance or support. So with that being said, after the retest of these moving averages as our support level right here on this currency pair, which is the pound and the Canadian dollar, what we did have is the bullish momentum to the upside. And after this was a great, fantastic place. We did enter, of course, and we went to the upside. And newbie traders, who is not involved with guys with high level of confidence or with the high level of knowledge with trading market analysis, they would view this as a sign to get out of the market, to take small profit and try to jump in from here, and then this would have knocked them out of course. And after that, you realize that if you would have just been in this trade a long time with Vincent, you would have realized that you would have made money more calmly. Now everybody who is on the real traders community is just sipping juice, and I guess even here on the YouTube watch list, it's just time for you to sip juice or energy drink or whatever that gets your blood pumping. It's time for you to relax and watch and enjoy your profits grow. So this is the pound and the Canadian dollar, but we do have, of course, the screenshot of this, which is the similar to the one of the euro and the Canadian dollar. So what you have realized now with the pound and the Canadian dollar, the euro and the Canadian dollar, the pound and the dollar, and the euro and the dollar is that we have kept our weight from last week that after NFP we would still be bullish on the euro and the pound and bearish on the Canadian dollar and the US dollar. And it is evident right now with the signals that we did have that every single signal that we had from our analysis, it is still going bullish to the upside. So back to the charts, this is the screenshot that I do have of the pound and the Canadian dollar. After this signal, of course, we do have to go back to our charts, and with the charts, what do I see? With the charts, what do I see? I do see us coming back and retaking profit above the intended target. And remember, if you do not have any moods, you're just like a robot, because remember, robots don't have any moods, emotions. A robot do not have any emotion. It's just backed up by data. Everything that is done by robots is backed up by data, but it does not. Robots, or rather, why I don't use robots, I prefer to trade by myself naturally by myself, is that I can adapt to changing structures fast. Robots are programmed to follow certain or specific rules, and the market rules change over time. So when using a robot, there are opportunities that you might miss, but I would like for you to adapt to the robot mindset and realize that we missed the take profit by a bit of, or a few pips. Someone after this drop, someone would have been like, I could have taken my profit out and then, cashed in on that. But the mentality of a professional trader is different from that one of a newbie trader. This is why I'm trying to show you when I'm doing this YouTube watch list for free right here on YouTube. So traders, with that being said, let's go straight to the euro and the pound to see what the market have in store for us this coming 2 days. So traders, what we have with the euro and the pound, what we have is similar to what I have been saying for the past few weeks. If you pay close attention to what I'm saying, you'd realize that there's been weeks now that we were structured to the upside. I did mention that from the previous week. This was a structure to the upside, of course, still made money. Structure to the upside last week, we did make money, of course, and again, structure to the upside, we are about to make money. Now, let's talk about the psychology before everything else, right? After this, you see our first demand zone and the second demand zone. They are quite closer to each other, which makes this area of interest more pivotal to our trading strategy right on the euro and the pound. Let me explain why. That is why you find this from after we did take profit on Tuesday. That's why we didn't analyze this on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Now, ever since Wednesday, we have been right at this area, tried to go down, but the market gave us this, stuck on Friday on this area. Even on Monday, we tried, just like we did try on Thursday. We did try to go below, and the market just keeps on giving us higher highs. Now, we have entered yesterday, of course, right here, but what we have from yesterday to as opposed to today is different. Yesterday, this was a fantastic move to the upside, break of structure, of course, and then after the break of structure, we went straight back up to retest the second demand zone. We are still in a trade. It is a negative trade. Now, someone would ask me, Vincent, how do you know when to move a trade to break even and when not to move a trade to the break even? I think that depends on the strong versus weak analysis that we do before with the real account traders community. We do a strong versus weak currency pair, so we would know that this one currency is stronger, this one is weaker. So when both currencies, the other one is strong and the other one is weak, it benefits us mostly by helping us with the understanding that if you pair the strongest versus the weakest, you can move break even. But if there are some of the currency pair is strong and the other one is moderate, it becomes, you have to give the trade enough time to breathe before you can see the results. I hope that makes sense to someone. You have to give it time so that it can breathe. Don't just take too many break evens. You will miss perfect entries just because you are afraid of losing. So right now, currently, we are still in a negative. What do I expect from this? I expect to see this and then a continuation to the upside. I think the euro might be stronger again today. So with that being said, traders, this is what I do expect. I don't think we might get out here, but if we do, that does not change the structural bias from us. It will only change the structural bias if the pound gets stronger and then the retest of the weekly break of structure, of course, and then the continuation to the downside to make that 1:3 risk to reward ratio. This is by far what should happen or what other traders should be looking at for selling opportunities. Anything that does not reach the weekly break of structure at 0.8637, it's not a good opportunity for buying this. So with that being said, traders, this is what I see on, of course, this is the signal. Of course, we are still in the signal. This is the euro and the pound. Nothing is still out yet. As of now, we are still structured to the upside to take profit right at the 0.8733. This is our take profit level with the euro and the pound. And last but not least, we have to go straight to the US dollar and the Canadian dollar. So with that being said, traders, let me remove this drawing and then go straight to our US dollar and Canadian dollar. So my beautiful traders, what I have to show you, I know we did not discuss gold with you. This is the signal that we had from last week on NFP, of course. And this was after the NFP results. We do have this Monday, of course, was a good run to the upside. And this was it. I think we just got stopped out because we trailed our stop loss to this. This was a fantastic signal on gold. Now, this is what we currently are dealing with the real account traders community. I know we prioritize privacy with the real account traders community because this is how most of us are making money. But if we were to, let me just show you the signal. This is the current signal, the previous signal that we were into. You can see everything was perfect from the signal on NFP. This is the NFP signal on gold, of course. And we do not discuss, and we have multiple signals on other currency pairs, of course, that are not discussed here on the free watch list of YouTube. So with that being said, this is gold. This was a fantastic setup to the upside, of course. And with that being said, let's go back to the chart. You've seen the signal and you've seen how this was. I do not want to tell you what to expect on this currency or on this gold setup that we do have, because it's exclusive. But I just wanted to show you the signal on gold before we go to the US dollar and the Canadian dollar. So let's go straight to the US dollar and the Canadian dollar. So traders, this is the US dollar and the Canadian dollar. As I have mentioned yesterday, that if this would come and retest the buying or the demand zone, you would get in. But we did not trade this yesterday. This is what I was talking about. Two currency pairs that are weak. This can go sideways for a long time until one of the two decides to give in. And tomorrow with the PPI, I don't know how the reaction of the dollar is going to be. But with that being said, all I am under influence of is looking to buy this. Structurally, it is still structured to the upside, even though I'm selling the dollar against multiple currencies. But I think that the Canadian dollar shorts are more attractive than the US dollar. So with that being said, if this is what we think it is, we might see bullish continuations to the upside. But I'm not interested that much on this currency pair. I don't want to be part of this. But if we are forced, of course, what we would like to see is right now, even the continuation of this. Let's zoom in a little bit. Right now, even the continuation of structure from this looks like a fantastic bullish pattern, of course. But either way, we did have a fantastic bullish pattern right here and even right here. So this tells you that this area of interest that I and you guys should be looking at is probably somewhere near its continuation to the upside. It just needs a boost from either the Canadian dollar or the US dollar. So watch out for that, guys, and make sure you make money if this goes up and the second candle right now closes above. This would be a great place for you to look for buying opportunities to continue the bullish momentum to the upside. I think the dollar might be stronger than the Canadian dollar, but tomorrow with the PPI, if you do get, if we do get a short opportunity to go below this would also mean that we might be looking for something more in the lines of a sell. But if we are looking for a sell into this, we'll be looking for a stronger sell to break the weekly break of structure, and then a continuation to retest the weekly break of structure, and then continuation to the downside to make that 1:3 risk to reward ratio. What we can see, despite whether we want to trade this or we do not want to trade this, the structure and the strategy would allow us to buy this, as it is now structured to the upside according to the system that we are using at Finboss Signal Factory. So this is it with the US dollar, Canadian dollar. I don't think, if you are trading this, remember those words. I did mention this yesterday. If you are trading this, if you are used to risking $100 on a single trade, divide that by two so that you can at least risk $50 per trade, so that it doesn't hurt you that much when it comes to trading this currency pair. It is not clear, but if it is your favorite currency pair going into this week, of course, structure is to the upside, and you should make sure that you make money while trying to buy this. So that's it from me, traders, and I would like to say thank you for watching the video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and happy trading for the rest of the day and the week. But for those of the real traders community, we will be back right at the New York session opens.